What if I tell you that the company that you know knows you better? All the free products available to us, like social media websites and messaging platforms, have multiple servers across different geographic locations, which requires a lot of cost to operate and maintain. Then why is it available to us for free? Maybe we are the products itself. What happens behind the closed door is not closed anymore. In the age of AI, where data is the new oil, different companies want to be the next Saudi Arabia. Maybe at the first glance, it does not sound so bad to let the company see our data or our online behavior, but the rabbit hole goes too deep than what we think.
Technology has forever changed the world we live in. All of you know this every single day. We're online in one way or another all day long.
As consumers, we do more online than ever before. We manage our bank accounts. We shop. We pay our bills. We handle our medical records.
But there's some third-party app developers who can also get access to your data.
Most retailers are finding out that they have a secondary source of income, which is that the data about their customers is probably just about as valuable, maybe even more so, than the actual product or service that they're selling to the individual.
Most people think that Google is just a search box or Facebook is just a place to keep themselves updated about their friends' activities. But what they don't realize is that these companies are competing for your attention. Their business model is to keep you engaged with their products. They are always improving and updating the technology of getting your attention as much as possible. Their sole purpose is for you to be on their platform as much as you can. The more you stay on their platform, the more data they collect about you, and the more they get to know about your personality. Remember, you are the product and advertisers pay to the companies to get your information. Hence, the more time you spend on their platforms, the more data and information they get about you. This information is then used by advertisers to sell their products and services. It's a type of surveillance which is profiting from infinite tracking of people, where the business model of the company is to make sure that advertisers are as successful as possible. Everything you are doing online is being watched, is being tracked, is being measured. Every single action you take is carefully monitored and recorded. They know when people are lonely, they know when people are depressed, they know when people are looking at the photos of ex-romantic partners, and multiple other data points. How much of your data or information do you think companies collect? To make it simple, every time you interact with the company or their website, you should expect that the company is recording your information at every node or click. It's like the company employees standing behind you and watching your every move on the internet to understand your behavior and personality to maximize their profits. Now, the question is, are you fine with someone monitoring you every time you browse internet? What possibly could be achieved using your data? Well, the starting point could be to enhance their services and products according to your behavior, or driving relevant ads of the products and services that you are interested in. It seems win-win situation for both you and the company, but what if I tell you that there are some companies that even sell your data to third-party data brokers?
Is this just the cost of doing business if you're a consumer going online? Is there any way you can protect yourself from all this information being gathered?
It's very, very difficult to protect yourself, unfortunately. There are so many of these data brokers and so many of these tracking systems out there that all want your information. And you can go through and opt out of them individually, but it takes so long that it's basically impossible, unfortunately.
Data brokers are the companies that buy and sell your data. Your data can include information like your name, address, phone number, credit card number, preferred products, favorite brand, spouse name, location, and the list goes on and on. The question here is, are you comfortable with an unknown individual having access to all of your information? And you have no clue of how they are going to use this information. Be them bombarding you with ads for buying their products, or influencing the results of the election of the most powerful democracy in the world.
She congratulated us, it's about us, on our victory. And I congratulated her and her family on a very, very hard-fought campaign. I mean, she fought very hard.
In 2016, Trump became 45th President of the United States of America. During his campaign days, Trump spent around $1 million every day on Facebook ads. Cambridge Analytica was a political consulting firm and was involved with Trump election campaigns. The job of this company was to capture the personality data and understand the psychology of every single voter of the country, so that the company can influence voting decisions of the people, especially those who were neither Democrat nor Republican supporters, and can be easily converted to Trump or Republican supporters. The question for this company was as how to get this data. The company reached out to Alexander Coogan, who developed an app called as This Is Your Digital Life. The sign-in on this app required Facebook details. Facebook shared the details of all of the individuals signing into this app along with the details of all of their Facebook friends with Coogan under the terms that the usage of this data would be for academic purposes only. Coogan then, infringing Facebook policy, sold and directed data of around 87 million US people to Cambridge Analytica. The company then used the 87 million US people data to manipulate and influence elections. 2016 US elections results were a pretty close call between Hillary and Trump. The question here is, would the results differ if Trump wouldn't have taken the help of Cambridge Analytica, who used Facebook data illegally to influence elections? Cambridge Analytica was under multiple investigations which led to shutting down its operations in 2018. Another case of data privacy was leaked by Edward Snowden from National Security Agency when he was working under CIA. He disclosed numerous global surveillance programs run by NSA and Five Eyes intelligence alliance, which include countries such as Australia, Canada, New Zealand, UK, and USA. He released different papers with proof which shows government employees spying on people and infringing their individual privacy. All these stories points to a much bigger and worrying story, which is that our personal data is out there and is being used against us and in the ways we don't even understand. The sole worth of few biggest companies in the world is that they own, possess, and use the personal data of people all around the world. Once someone knows your personality, it is easier for them to not only sell their products and services, but also to manipulate you according to their own will. In the world of online connection, anytime two people connect, the only way it is financed is through a sneaky third person who is paying to manipulate those two people. So we have created an entire global generation of people who are raised within a context where the very meaning of communication is manipulation. We have put deceit and manipulation in the center of the very things that we do. The best way to move forward for people is to really possess their personal data like an asset, like a bond or property, and it belongs to you, and the world seems to have forgotten this. Don't take your personal data lightly, as this data is responsible for creating the empire of the biggest technology companies all across the world. So there is tremendous amount of value in your data, and it's being used without your consent and often without your knowledge. Remember, secrecy is security, and security is victory. By agreeing to the terms and conditions blindly, we give companies the right to see our personal data, but that defeats the very nature of the password protection we use in our devices. The question now is, will privacy be a myth for the upcoming generation, or strict government regulations will change the wind for the betterment of humankind?